Hi there, in this video I'm just going to show you the core philosophy or principle behind Sorted. And before I can do that, I'm just going to tell you what my thinking was when I first developed Sorted a few years ago, the first version of Sorted a few years ago. And I was working at Focus Fireplaces, and I wasn't actually working in the showroom, but I had access to the data that was coming out of the showroom. And what I know, and they had a paper-based system. And what I noticed with the paper-based system is that it had certain shortfalls. And the first shortfall that I noticed was that goods were being forgotten. Forgotten to be ordered from suppliers until it was too late, and it relied on very much on the person in charge of the showroom remembering to order goods and constantly scanning through the paper records to make sure everything was had been ordered and stuff was coming into stock. And this was the second shortfall, constantly monitoring that paper system to make sure that goods that had been ordered were turning up, that everything was ordered. And the third place it fell down was that each order that came through the door, each fireplace that was sold, or each stove that was sold, required a number of pieces of paper to complete it. And what I mean by that is you have to write out your sales order, you're going to have to write out an invoice at some point, you have to write out purchase orders for your suppliers, you have to write out your diary, you have to have what I'd call a running sheet, which shows you at a glance the stock status of each job. But unfortunately it wasn't at a glance, because you had to manually scan through a load of jobs that were completed to get to jobs that were still ongoing, and it was all very time consuming and all wide open to error. And so what I came up with, or what I wanted, was I wanted a computerized system, obviously, and it needed to be able to create both sales and purchase orders from one original set of data. Okay. And that would cut out the misduplication. It needed a series of reports to ensure that, number one, nothing was being overlooked and purchase orders weren't being forgotten to be sent. Number two, it needed a report that could be printed out daily that would give you the progress of everything that had been ordered from your supplier or suppliers, and that's how Sorted was born. And so I'm going to show you now how I addressed this. So fundamentally, if you look on screen here, you can see we're on the order page. We've got the customer's name and address over here, and then what's happened is we've broken his job or his stove installation down into its key components, and these are broken down, if you like, by supplier of these key components. Okay, you can see here tile set comes from the tile shop, gas stove from a company called Stoves Unlimited, and the beam comes from Focus Fireplaces. And I appreciate this is by no means how a complete order would look, but it's good for the purposes of this demo. Alright. So based on all that data being entered in, and the prices are down here, etc, etc, and you can see down here also we've got required by dates, alright, which are all the 25th of the 6th 2015. I'm recording this at the end of February 2015, so we've got plenty of time to order these goods if needs be. And once everything looks right on screen, we can then go and print the sales order. Just resize that so you can see it. Oops. And there you see all those goods that are there come out on this sales order report along with the prices, and this is for you to go through with your customer and check each item off along with its price and ensure that this is what your customer wants. Okay, this makes up his complete fireplace. And once you've printed this out and they're happy with it, they sign their name there. You sign your name on behalf of your company, and there you've got a contract. Okay, and if they come back to you after the installation's taken place and insist they ordered a 56-inch beam, you can say, no, I'm sorry, you ordered a 54-inch, and you have signed for it right there. Okay, not that would happen a lot, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the invoice will be printed out in pretty much the same way. I'm not going to do that because it'll close this job down, and I don't really want to do that. But the invoice looks, to all intents and purposes, very similar to the sales order. Okay, so that's it. That's the customer half of the equation satisfied. Now, if you come up here to reports and go to purchase orders, now this allows you to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening. Okay, it'll tell, these 4 reports here will tell you what goods need to be ordered, if any. It will allow you to create purchase orders for your goods that can be printed out and then faxed. And in my experience, I've found fax a lot more reliable than any other method of creating purchase orders. And it'll allow you to create the purchase orders, as I said, and then third report is outstanding orders, and this is goods that have been ordered but haven't come into stock yet, and it'll give you their the date that they're required by, and from that you can then assess whether the goods need chasing or not. And the last one is a stock status report, which allows you to check the stock status of items ordered by job. Okay, so the first report, supplies to order from, make sure that's selected. Just resize this for you. Okay, so we can see we've got some marble to order, but there's only one set of that, and up to you, obviously. If you don't order that much marble, you might want to go ahead and order that. I'd hang on to that for a few days to see if we get another set of marble that's needed. Focus fireplaces, 3 items to order from them. Stoves Unlimited, 3 items to order from them. And the tile shop, two items to order from them. So I'd be looking at Focus fireplaces and Stoves Unlimited to be creating purchase orders for. I'm just going to show you one of these. We'll go for the Stoves Unlimited. So what you'd do, you'd print this out and you'd have it on the desk next to you, and then you could go down your list from top to bottom, decide what needs ordering and what you're going to hold on to. Okay, select order goods. Now there is an option here to print all of them, and I suggest you don't use that, but you come to here, Stoves Unlimited, preview, and there you have it. It tells you what the goods are you're ordering. It gives the reference name of your customer and the reference order number, that's the sales order number, so you can access it quickly on the system. It gives the name of the person who took the sales order, processed the sales order, so that you can speak to the right person if you or your supplier can speak to the right person if you've got a query, and it tells them when you need these goods for. Okay, and what it's done here, it's taken all the stoves that need to be ordered and it's lumped them all together on one purchase order. Now it's up to you whether you print this and put it through the fax now, or maybe you want to wait until you've got 5 stoves, because you might get a little bit of extra discount. So you've got your finger right on the pulse. You know that if you order these goods, then there's no way you can forget to order any of these goods. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. As I said, the outstanding orders will tell you what's been ordered and how that's progressing or when it should be in stock by. And that's about it. That is the core principle of Sort It.